my wife gets me up. I'm like, this really sucks. Next thing you know, it's like a week later, and I still can't stand up straight. And so I'm like, there's something really wrong. So I go in and see my doctor. Oh, let's take an x-ray. Oh, we just think it's the muscle. You know, don't worry about it. It'll loosen up. Here's some muscle relaxers, you know. And, of course, they gave me some Oxycontin. Nothing is even affecting my back pain. I still can't stand up straight. And about week 3, my feet start going numb, and I can't feel my feet. And I'm like, this is an issue. And so week 4 rolls around, and I start losing all my feeling below my waist. And I'm like, that's it. I'm a big, tough guy, but this is ridiculous. So I go in, I see my doctor again, and I said, here's what's going on. I'm losing the feeling below my waist. And they go, okay, we'll get you an MRI. So next day I go in for an MRI. I do the MRI at like 11. And I get out of the MRI, the doctor comes down and says, okay, who do you need to call? And I'm like, call for what? Well, you're going into surgery right now because you have a herniated disc and it's crushing your spinal cord. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. And I've been telling you that something's wrong. So, cool. So I call my wife and we go to Tacoma General. And I don't know what was going on that day, but they had us in a room with really small gurneys with, you know, just curtains around them.
Yeah.
But you couldn't fit 2 people in there, right? So, and you could hear everybody talking. And there's got to be 25, 30 people in there. And I'm in pain. I'm not a good patient when I'm in pain. And so I'm laying there, and this male nurse comes in and goes, hey, how you doing? I said, not good. Well, you're here for some surgery, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, listen, I'm going to do some tests. You know, we're going to check your feet and check your legs and see how far up the numbness goes. I said, okay. And so they check my feet, and they're like, I can't feel that. I can see you doing it, but I can't feel it. Check my calf. Yeah, I can feel that a little bit more. So he goes, okay, I'm going to need you to lay on your side. And he puts his hand on my hip. And I'm laying on my side, and he goes, I need to check your rectum. And I'm like,
wow,
why are you talking so loud? You know, I can reach out and touch the person next to me in the bed. And he didn't say why I was going into surgery or anything. It was just, I need to check your rectum. And I'm like, dude, okay. And by this time, I'm getting very upset because I don't care what they do. Just make the pain stop, right?
Sure.
My wife at the time I look up at her like, oh, my God. And she is hysterically crying, laughing, okay, because she knows everybody can hear what's going on. And I'm sitting there just going, this is not good. And she goes, it's okay, honey, it's okay. Why? She's crying. So the guy goes, okay, you might feel a little pressure. And he goes up like 2 or 3 levels in his voice when he says that. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Just do it. Just get it done. I don't care. And sure enough, he has his hand on my hip, and then, you know, he checks my rectum and pulls out his fingers, and he goes, yeah, you're a little loose.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
I'm like, dude, really? And by this time, my wife is almost on the floor. She couldn't talk. She couldn't breathe, nothing. And, you know, I'm just sitting there going, okay. And he smacks me on the hip. All right, we'll get you up there in just a sec, get that surgery done. And I'm like, I was so mad, and I was just, get me out of this place. And they wheel me out on the gurney, and I go around the corner, and the guy next to me had his curtain open, and he was just shaking his head. And I'm like, what does this look like to everybody else in this room? Can I please stop right here and tell him I hurt my back?
You're David with the loose rectum.
Yeah. This is all from sneezing.
Yeah, it was awful. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's It's almost worse when it's not even accurate. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm there because I have a loose rectum, like, okay, I didn't want you to know that, but that's the truth. Where it's like, when that's not the case, I'm supposed to tell people, there's nothing wrong with my butt. There's nothing wrong with my backside.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
When were you embarrassed for yourself or someone else? 206-803-ROCK.
I got a loose one back here.
Yeah.
And sweat it.
Hello, Nikki. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
Okay, so this was a few years ago when my kid was, I don't know, about 11 or 12. And we went to the beach, a public beach, and there's a long dock. And her and her little friends run up or down to the end of the dock, and there's this kid behind me. And he's probably, I don't know, maybe 6'1", 6'2", big kid, good looking, mixed kid. And he's clucking like a chicken behind me. And each time I kind of turn around and I'm like, what is this dude doing? And, you know, so he keeps doing it. And I turn around, finally, I'm so irritated. And I go to push him in the water, and he's fighting it. And he ends up going down on the dock. And the dock had like that tar paper on it.
Yeah.
And so he skinned his knee, and he started to cry. And then he starts to lick the blood. And my kid runs up, and she's like, Mom, he's a special needs kid from my school.
Oh.
Pushed over a special needs kid.
Damn.
Yes. And I'm like, this is some bull. No, he's not. But he's in full tears and looking around. I'm like, well, where's his caregiver? And then his little sister is in the water, and so she gets out, and I don't know. It was crazy. Everybody at the beach was looking at me like I was a monster.
The mean woman that you are, pushing over the special
Had you
needs.
seen him, Nikki, had you seen him swimming before this happened?
No.
And it still seems bold just to push somebody in the water to begin with.
No.
He was clucking behind me.
No,
I
look, hey,
hear
man.
you, but not everybody on a dock knows how to swim.
He was in shorts, and that's it.
Did you think he was like calling you a chicken, kind of like, oh, you're not getting in the water?
Yeah, I don't. It was just so bizarre because I had run into a friend from high school, so we were kind of catching up and talking, and I'm like, this kid, what is he doing?
F this kid, Mom.
Yeah.
What were you telling me, Ted? You did the Walker told me I have AIDS. Where were you? You said like you thought everyone understood the context of it, but
yeah, and I said it, and nobody had a reference point to Walker or
Texas
whatever.
Ranger.
Yeah, and it was the same thing. Like we've been using it, right? Like just kind of,
yeah,
I was
just a
like,
funny thing.
Yeah,
to
just
say.
like Walker says I have AIDS, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, like, damn it. Should I tell that one real quick? I'll tell you
Yes,
before the
I
show.
think this is great.
All right. So yesterday, obviously, I confused a couple black actors. Not happy about it. So I said it through. I go, it's kind of like inadvertent racism, which I swear I wasn't trying to do it. So me and my two buddies are fishing on this dock, right? And it's one of those docks. You can't have a motorized boat, but it's crowded. So there's all these Russian guys, and then there's us. We got there early. So I'm on the corner of the dock, right?
Yeah.
I got a nice spot. This was a couple years ago. It's like 80 degrees. It's hot out. And look, I'm drinking beers. So I'm not really looking at the guy next to me. And sometimes I will joke around with people I don't know and go, this guy knows. And people are like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a funny joke. So my buddy catches a fish. And I go, hey, man, we should just cut that up right now and get some sashimi. Everybody loves sashimi. This guy does. And as I look back at my friends, they're kind of like, ooh, no. There's only one Asian guy on this dock. And I had just nonchalantly been like, this guy loves sashimi. He gets it. And the guy got, when I looked up, he's kind of nodding.
Yeah, I do, actually.
My buddy's like, dude, like that was, I was like, it was really embarrassing.
Super racist without even trying to.
Yeah. Like, I assume he loves it.
This guy knows.
This guy loves it, man.
Ask him.
He's probably got a crew chief on him.
Coming up, the return of Ted versus the FCC at 4:35, and we'll get your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.